so when both of those cases met up at the same time, the Supreme Court kind of took a little second look at it and went ahead and ruled that way in a very, very obviously questionable decision. But the other person in that Texas case didn't have an abortion either. It was another case where they didn't even have one. So this wasn't started by women who wanted an abortion and didn't have the means for it, and they got a safe and effective abortion. It wasn't started that way. So you look at the history.
Planned Parenthood was started as a form of eugenics.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly. That's what Andy was saying.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. She said they're not gonna. This is gonna be a mess. They're not gonna know anything. They don't. They're low wage earners. They're uneducated. They're dirty, and they don't know how to vote. And they're having too many babies.
Completely subhuman.
Hmm?
Margaret Sanger looked at the black population and the Latino population and all those people. She looked at them as subhuman. She didn't see them as human beings. She seen them as a lesser form of life.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, and she got her ideas from a globalist who was actually a foreigner, I believe, not even just a globalist, but a person that wasn't even from the U.S. is where she got her training and influence. Can't remember their name. German, I believe.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason they're really concerned about this is because there's one issue that is going to tilt the scale here. And this scale could have been tilted with or without Amy Barrett. And the reason this can be tilted is because of the very own words of the Supreme Court Justice that announced the ruling back in 1963, right? Whatever year it was, 66. Yeah, 1966. When he announced it, he said these words. He said, he voted for it, and he said, this is because the current thought is that life begins at birth. But the moment that the public believes that life begins at conception, this law falls apart.
There's a whole new generation who's starting to wake up to the fact that conception is when life begins.
Mm-hmm. So, the push is life begins at conception. Do Catholics believe that? Absolutely. If they get life begins at conception, they go back to the precedent in 1966 and they look and see what those 9 judges said. And when 7 of them all agreed, they went 7-2, I believe. But they said under the pretense that if life begins at conception, this thing's off. It falls apart. We got a dance going on.
And we got a dance going on.
We're going to have dance. Oh, yeah. And I'm hoping Amy's going to be there. But either way, that is in the future, and that is in the cards because the tide is turning there towards that belief. But Amy would be the last straw. That's why they're fighting so hard. That's what I believe. Right here on Digging Deeper. DiggingDeeper.us or DiggingDeeper.net if you want some other articles there. Also, check out the Zoom call at the top of DiggingDeeper.us. Just click on the link there. And just a real quick shout out to some advertisers here. Of course, that advertiser is Hale Multimedia. Hale Multimedia has been building websites since 1996 and officially in business in 1998. I'm old. No, Hale Multimedia has 40 plus years of programming experience, over 30 years on the radio, 20 years in websites, and 12 years in apps. So if you need something done, make sure you give Hale Multimedia a call. That's same number as this call-in show, but not during the show, okay? All right. So that's HaleMultimedia.com for a full portfolio, and thank you all for listening. So now, we're back on the show. That was a live promo. Was that live? Waylon, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
I could say I got through my first promo without losing any major listeners.
the late side. So
Yeah.
thanks for the conversation, and you guys have a good evening.
All right.
Of course, it was a pleasure.
Thanks again, Waylon. Thank you again for calling in, and let us know if there's anything we can pray for you or Val about, and if anything's on your mind, if you need us to dig deeper into, let us know. And thanks again for calling in.
All right, thank you. Guys,
All right.
have a good night, guys.
Yep.
All right, good night.
We'll see ya. All right, that was nice to have a caller. He's been a consistent caller, and Matt, you were the first caller, and then he called in the second night, and the
That's
third night, and the
awesome.
fourth night. So I think that's 3 nights, 3 weeks in a row for him.
Awesome.
And so they're really happy about it. They told me last week. Were you listening in? No, it cut off.
Yeah, cut off.
They told me last week that they were super thankful for this. They're really stoked, and they too don't care really if it's 3 people or 5 people. They just want to continue to
Yeah.
just try to get this to where it's making a difference in somebody's life, because they're actually, and I'm not sure if it was Valerie, if you're listening, Valerie, I'm not sure if it was you that was the one who said you weren't sure how you were going to vote, and then I had mentioned something out there and put a few things out there, and I'm not sure if that was a good influence or not, if that was you, Val, but I know there was somebody that I knew, a friend of mine, that I said, why are they thinking that way? How could they think that way? Let's get the facts out there. And we dug a little deeper and got a few facts put out there, and then I was thinking that they came around to understanding not to believe the lies of mainstream media and the lies of a lot. When we say mainstream media, let's name some names before we close out the show here. We're going to finish out on some fake news call-outs. We'll call them fake news call-outs. Okay, we'll play a game here around the air. So we'll go round pen. All right, so Andy, you go first, then Matt, and then I'll give one. So call out a news organization, whether it's TV, newspaper, magazine.
MSDNC.
Okay, Andy goes first with MSDNC or MSNBC. So you're talking Rachel Maddow, one of our favorite people in the world. Shout out to Rachel. And so Matt.
Oh, it's hard because I mean, I can't say that all of Fox News is fake, but there's a pretty good chunk of it.
Wow, he comes in with a heavy
I
hitter, takes down the giant, boom, 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 right away.
Yeah.
Fox News, so there's so many little obscure ones and so many of them that you would think that they would be straight up news organizations that we're going to go around the circle fast. If you guys don't get these, I got a bunch, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the off-the-wall ones at first that you might not think of, that you would thought of as being something else. I mean, these papers, these magazines, these TV companies, these are all companies that you would think specialize in something else, and they shouldn't even be getting their nose in politics, some of them, okay? So, Forbes.
Yeah.
It's finance magazine.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, so Forbes is fake news now. What do you got, Andy?
What about the Rock magazine?
Oh, Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone.
The Rolling Stone. Good one.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. They have been so liberal. They've been liberal-owned for a long time. Matter of fact, let's think back to it. Was it a Hillary Clinton relative that was part owner in it? There was some sort of connection to a
There was a
candidate
connection.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Very
which
liberal
one.
connection, yeah. So what do you think, Matt? What's your next one?
Definitely. You get the Washington Post.
Washington Post. I think they're high on
Yeah,
the
that's
list. Number one, number
a
one
big
or
one.
number 2 newspaper. You know, if you're gonna do that. And obviously, there's a couple more real major ones that I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna avoid them, and I'm gonna go with Newsweek magazine.
Oh.
Newsweek magazine is fake news now. Go ahead, Andy.
Fake news. All those out there.
Oh, yeah.
All y'all.
Oh yeah, bud. Y'all fake news. And like Matt said, he picked it up Fox right
Even
away with it.
CNN, it used to be just a live stream.
Yeah,
Right?
it's supposed to be just news events. Now it's just
Yeah.
all political garbage.
Yep.
Okay, so CNN, good hit. I mean, that's a big one. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. You get the Times, New York Times.
Yes, New York Times, good one, Matt. Okay, so I got to get a little more deeper into it here. Newspapers and magazines. I know I am trying to think of one that is one of those we think of being. Oh, yeah, there it is. I got it. Came to me finally. The Wall Street Journal.
Yep.
All I thought was about the stock market. It's about nothing to do with that. I mean, it's all garbage except for a couple markets things in there.
Yeah, they can only report facts on the numbers, right?
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Editorial has taken over news. There's no more news. It's all editorial. There's sports and editorial and markets. There's no news anymore. Maybe weather.
It's editorial because they can tell whatever they want.
Right. It's their
And they
slang.
kind of just.
But
Because
the problem is
they,
they're not
they,
labeling
they
it as
can't get
editorial.
sued anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not labeling it as editorial. They're labeling it as news.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they should be able to be sued, but because of a law that's in place now, they can't be sued.
Yep. Yep.
You got any more? Or should we end it pretty soon here? We got 5 minutes left in the show.
What do you think?
Can't say the Inquirer because they seem to tell more truth than.
I think you just hit the punchline right there. We should just end it at that. The one that was known throughout our entire lifetime as being the biggest of fake news and everybody knew it is now one of the most reliable.
And the Sun, right? The Inquirer and the Sun.
Yep.
And, you know, the Babylon Bee even gets them pretty close.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just meant to be funny.
It's supposed to be unintentional. I mean, intentionally wrong. So what was the one that I saw today? I posted it on our feed. Andy, go to the Digging Deeper
Was
group.
it even a Babylon? But it wasn't a Babylon.
No, it wasn't a Babylon Bee, but it should have been. It sounded like, did he actually say that, or did that really happen? We're going to close out the show tonight by taking a look at the Facebook feed. It's in the group, Digging Deeper group. And also the Digging Deeper Facebook Messenger. If anybody out there is listening that wants to join into that, go ahead and shoot messages in there, and we talk about things throughout the day, throughout the week.
Last thing I see is the tweet from Donald Trump.
Digging Deeper group. Oh, you're in the group.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That must not have been where you posted it.
yeah, certainly something that I thought should have been in the Babylon Bee, but it wasn't. It was in an actual New York Times or something article, but it was in, I don't know. You just don't know what to believe because sometimes you read something and you think, did they actually wake up and realize that that's true? And then you think, okay, they were just doing it to print their own fake news or something, I guess. I don't know what it was, but I'll post it on there and we'll take a look at it. And the night's getting late. We're going to go ahead and drop on out of here in just a few minutes. And I think what we'll do is I'm going to try something here. We're going to try to end with a nice little arrangement of music. And we're going to give you tonight, I'm going to give our special guest, Matt, a chance to pick through the songs here. And we've got Dreams, Night Moves, Don't Look Back, Something to Believe In, Mirror, Mirror, Green Grass, Welcome to the Jungle, Stop by a Cop While Smoking Pot. That's by Cheech and Chong. It's a special song. Wish You Were Here Live by Pink Floyd. Okay, does anybody want to hear some Pink? Okay, shall we hear some Cheech and Chong?
Sure, play it.
Alright, let's hear some Cheech and Chong to close out the night. Thanks for listening to Digging Deeper, sponsored by Hale Multimedia. And thank you to our special guest, Matt, for coming in to the studio live.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Andy, for helping us get things arranged
you,
on
Andy.
producing and everything. So, yeah, a lot of fun here tonight. Thank you especially to Waylon and Valerie who are listening online, and Waylon who called in, and everybody else that might be tuning in. Thanks again for listening, and we're going to head on out of here. After we listen to a little Cheech and Chong, we'll probably go into a song to close out this, and then we'll be off live after that. So have fun with this, and have a good night. I'm Brian Hill, and you're hosting on Digging Deeper. Have a good night.
See the woman, 415 Pike, 2701.